Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome to Cosmic Consciousness with Kassia. On this channel, we discuss all aspects of the ascension process. Today, we're going to be talking about Saturn retrograde in the sign of Pisces for 2023. And this is going to be a powerful retrograde. For all of you who have not watched the Saturn in Pisces video, that is going to be linked in the description box below. I highly suggest that you do. This is a huge transit that we have going on, one of the most highly anticipated transits of the year, and it's going on until 2026, when Saturn will then move into the sign of Aries. So it's a really big deal. Saturn in Pisces, and then Pluto, of course, entering Aquarius, were the big ticket items of 2023, I suppose you could say. So this is an energy that is going to be influencing us a lot. It is shaping us. It is having a huge impact on our ascension process as we move forward over these next few years. And we're going to talk about some of the information in that video during this video, but we're not going to hit on all of it. So like I said, check that out. This Saturn retrograde is beginning at 7 degrees of Pisces, and you're going to see this number 7 repeating many times. We're going to get into that because we always get into the numbers on here. Numbers are so important. Numbers are energies, they are frequencies, they are gateways and portals, right? So there is a lot of significance there. So we're going to talk about the significance of the number 7 as we're moving through this Saturn retrograde. But it begins at 7 degrees of Pisces on June 17th. Once again, we have a 7 in there, right? June 17th, and it ends on November 4th, interestingly enough, of 2023. And not only is it 7 degrees of Pisces that this retrograde begins at, but it's 7 degrees 13 minutes of Pisces. So 7:13. And these are the two most spiritually auspicious numbers. We talked about the energy of the number 6 and how that's extremely spiritually auspicious as well. But the 7 and the 13 specifically, when we look at 7, a lot of people think of the number 7, and we are in a 7 year this year, right? 2023 adds up to a 7. They think about this as one of those universal numbers. We have 7 major chakras within the physical body. Excuse me, right? We have 7, I think it's like 7 main notes of music or something like that. I'm not a musician, but I'm pretty sure it's like seven main tones or frequencies where that's concerned. 7 main colors in the rainbow that make up the color spectrum. It's just all of these, the 7 days in a week, we see this number with the 7 repeating itself over and over again. And so we have that 7 energy, and then the 13 as well at this degree point where Saturn stations retrograde. 13, as we discussed during the full moon in Sagittarius video, 6/6 portal video, being a highly auspicious number as well, being a number that represents ascension, that represents the multiverse. When we're looking at the 12 dimensions that unified make the 13th, the 12 DNA strands that unified the energy of which it's the 13th, right? The 12-13 energy, and how this energy repeats itself over and over again throughout creation. That 13, very, very important number here. So the 7 and the 13 together, this is a big energy. One other thing with the 7s that I was putting together, I was looking at Saturn as the 7th planet. Technically, they consider Uranus to be the 7th planet when we're looking at distance from the sun. But if we're counting the sun as a planet itself, the sun being planet number 1, that makes Saturn planet 7. So I feel that energy of Saturn in that way as a 7 planet. So I thought that was interesting as well, seeing that 7 coming up there. And Saturn's transit through Pisces began on March 7th of this year. So 3-7. And we talked about the significance of the number 3 as well, right? Let's see. June 17 at 7 degrees. Completes the shadow period on February 7th. So on February 7th of 2024, Saturn will come out of its shadow period for this retrograde. So, yeah, just a lot of interesting energies with the number 7. And one thing that I was feeling from this energy of Saturn and Pisces this year, I guess actually I'm not sure if it's specific to this year or not, just something that I was feeling in reference to these energies. And we talk about this a little bit or perhaps a lot, I can't really remember, in the Saturn in Pisces video, about how one of the things that Saturn is doing on an ascension level is it is assisting us in integrating our light bodies, our crystalline bodies, with our physical bodies, really upgrading our physical vessels, so to speak, upgrading our energy bodies. And I'm feeling Saturn as well as upgrading those first 7 strands of our DNA. 7 out of 12 strands, 12, 13 strands, like we said, right? So those first 7 strands really activating as we're moving through the Saturn in Pisces transit, and definitely as we're moving through 2023 being a 7-year. Yeah, I'm feeling that really significant for 2023, especially the first 7 of the strands of DNA that are activating and crystallizing here. As Saturn is governing this anchoring in of all this high vibrational spiritual energy into our physical vessels, into this physical planet, into this physical world, right? This construct, this matrix, whatever we want to call it. We want to be sure that we are taking things into our bodies that are a matching vibration to where our body is trying to vibrate at. All right. And I know that I've struggled with this for a really long time, because consumption, when it comes to the physical things that I put in my body, is that's been a area of difficulty for me throughout my life. And so I have finally thrown in the towel when it comes to a few things that I am consuming that I know are just not a vibrational match to where my body's trying to go. And it's going to be for each and every person to determine that for themselves, what is holding them dense and what is allowing them to become lighter. And of course, we always want to be blessing our food. We want to imagine our food crystallizing as we are blessing it. Send waves of love to our food as we are blessing them. To be more specific about what we're doing when we're blessing them, I'm sending love to the food. I'm sending love to the planet. I'm sending love to any sentient beings who may have been harmed in the creation of my food. Because even fruits and vegetables, the way that we harvest all food on this planet, unless we are getting it directly from a local farmer's market or growing it ourselves, if it is commercially grown, someone somewhere, some sentient being is being harmed in the creation and the cultivation of that food, whatever words you want to use. You guys understand what I'm saying. So I send that love and I send those waves of healing. Every time I imagine my food crystallizing, I imagine the nutrients multiplying, all negativity, all black magic, dark sorcery, whatever may be interwoven into that food being released. Water as well. I have to work. Water is something that I consistently need to work with. I forget about the blessing of my water. I'm actually going to do that. Let's do that right now. If any of you guys are drinking water, go ahead and bless your water while we're doing this. There we go. All right. So let's see what else here. What else do we want to talk about? So as we're moving through, this is the first retrograde that Saturn is entering since entering the sign of Pisces on March 7th. And so as we're moving through, we're retracing these first 7 degrees. And this is close to the entire first decan of Pisces energy. There are 3 decans, or 3 groupings of degrees in each zodiac sign. We have the first 9 to 10 degrees, the second, and then the third. So it's about 10 degrees each, 9, 10 degrees in each decan. And they denote a level of maturity, right? As we're moving into a deeper expression and understanding of how to work with these energies as we move through these degrees. So we're still in the beginning point, but we are really going over the bulk of this first decan of this Saturn in Pisces energy. And so this is when we're having a retrograde, this is a chance to revise, this is a chance to review, this is a chance to what's the word that I'm looking for, when you're to integrate. All right? So we want to be aware of what's coming up for us, what's being shown to us, how it is that we have been progressing in these areas of our lives. And there's going to be a specific area where you're really going to feel this energy in your own specific natal chart based on where you have this 0 to 7 degrees of Pisces in your chart. And yes, I didn't mention this, but on November 4th, Saturn will end its retrograde at 0 degrees of Pisces. So a perfect trace of those first 7 degrees of the sign of Pisces. And I apologize. I don't apologize, really. But some of you may hear my son gleefully screaming in the background. He's in the other room with a dear friend playing, and I'm pretty sure those are screams of delight. So I'm going to try to keep my focus. Usually I try to turn on my sound machine or something so I don't get as distracted. But yes, I do believe those are screams of glee. He's a very happy child. So let's see here. So yes, when we have our personal chart, we'll be able to see where we're going to be feeling these energies the most acutely for us. And if you guys want assistance interpreting or understanding that, I do transit chart readings. So email me. My email's in the description box below. My website, which is under construction right now, but still will give you the basics of what I do, pricing, all that different stuff. My website is linked below as well. So where were we going with that? Yeah, but the general themes that we're working with, and this is going to be found in the Saturn in Pisces video, which is linked below, as I said at the beginning of the reading, where we go in more depth into this, is all about how it is that we're anchoring the spiritual into the physical, right? Pisces being that 12th sign of the zodiac, that 12th house, right? This energy of mysticism, this energy of oneness, of spirituality, of completion, right? In a sense. And so that energy mixing with Saturn is really asking us, Saturn is asking us, okay, you have these spiritual beliefs, you have these insights, you have these knowings. How do you bring that through and anchor that into this physical world, right? You have these philosophies. How do you live them, right? Can you walk your talk? Do you know how to put into practice all the things that you believed, and are you doing that? Do you have a spiritual routine, right? We talk about spiritual hygiene on here all the time, right? Are you taking care of your spiritual condition? Are you taking the actions that exemplify what you have learned and what you know spiritually, right? How are you living? Are you living in your integrity? All of these are energies that we're going to be getting a deeper understanding of as Saturn moves through Pisces, right? It's blending spirituality and practicality. It's taking all of that spiritual knowledge and really grounding it into, anchoring it into this existence, living that. And like we said, it's those basics too, like, what do I do when I wake up in the morning? Do I have a routine before I go to bed? Am I meditating regularly, right? Am I clearing my energy regularly? Just really checking in with all these things. And this is giving us, this transit through 2026 is really giving us an opportunity to get serious about those things, to get serious about this spiritual journey and where it's taking us. With this energy as well in the 12th house, the 12th house is also known as the house of our undoing. So there are a lot of energies here. If we still have addictive behaviors, escapist tendencies, any of these areas where we're perhaps, for lack of a better term, kind of slacking off when it comes to our spirituality and taking care of our spiritual condition, we're going to be coming face to face with that. And Saturn's asking us to overcome those challenges, to really become stronger in that regard and overcome these impulses to escape, these impulses to sink into the void, right? For some people, we're going to see these energies getting worse. It's really just like everything going on right now. It's a choice point. Do I choose to surrender to this in the sense of just allowing it to take me over completely? Or do I choose to surrender to my higher self and allow my higher self to work with me to free me from this energy? Boundaries, another huge energy with Saturn and Pisces, right? Pisces is a sign of oneness. It is a sign where we mix and meld and blend with each other, right? And so boundaries are not a strong suit of Pisces. Boundaries are Saturn's best attribute, I would say. All right. Diligence, perseverance, and boundaries. So we're going to be working on boundaries anywhere where our boundaries need to be shored up. We are going to be shown so that we have an opportunity to do that. So we have an opportunity to really, in a sense, become bulletproof. All right. Any chinks in our armor are going to be exposed so that we can really work through that process of strengthening that. Anything else that we want to talk about here? Seeing another aspect of Saturn in Pisces is this energy of really seeing and understanding, being able to recognize the spiritual in everything in your everyday lives, being able to see the higher purpose, the higher meaning behind everything. Finding the meaning, finding the lesson. This energy is very much about lessons and about powerful karmic lessons. And many of us, as Saturn moves through Pisces, and we're going to feel it even more acutely during the retrograde periods, right? Because this is our revision process, is about ending major karmic cycles. Lessons, spiritual lessons, the most important spiritual lessons, I would argue, that our soul has come here to learn and has perhaps struggled to learn. Lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. This is a major closing out point for some of those cycles for many of us. It's sort of like the way that I tried to explain this when I was coming through was, it's sort of like because this earth is a school, right? It's many things. One thing that it is a school. And so in that regard, the lessons coming up as Saturn moves through Pisces here, these are like the courses that we majored in, right? Whatever we declared our major, if we were looking at this as us being at the college level at this point, that's what these lessons are. That's the significance of these lessons, these karmic lessons and cycles that we're getting ready to close out here, having that opportunity to close out. And what we do with this energy is what is determining the trajectory of our ascension process moving forward. All right. So everything right now, looking at it, as we always do, but really looking at it, what is this teaching me? What is this showing me? What is this reflecting to me? All right, I think I'm going to start actually with some starseed oracle cards for us. And then I actually found, I have never used this deck on here, I don't think, but I have this deck that it looks very Piscean, right? If you look at the back of it, it's a tarot deck. And I'm feeling it for this reading today for these Pisces energies. So we're letting that chill with my golden healer selenite for a minute, charging it up, and then we're going to use that as well. But we're going to start out while that's continuing to charge with some starseed oracle cards. Clear. Some guidance for all of the beauties of the collective for which I channel. All of my beautiful starseeds. Myself included, right? Because these are always readings for me as well. What do we need to know? What messages from our family of light, right? Our star families of origin. What do we need to know? Saturn in Pisces, or Saturn retrograde. We have You've Got the Love, Hadarian energy, and this is all about codependency and boundaries. So this is going to be a huge theme for people moving through. And we always talk about the energy of how Pisces is the ultimate empath energy. All right? And what is the ultimate lesson that empaths must learn? Boundaries. All right? And when it says you've got the love, this means all the love that you seek, you hold within. All right? So this Saturn retrograde is all about going within to find the love that we're seeking without. And I feel like during the Saturn retrograde, many people are going to be coming face to face with this energy of realizing where it is that you have been codependent. Where you have been placing the expectations for your happiness on others. Where you have been allowing others' happiness to be your own. And lack of as well, right? Allowing how other people are feeling to dictate how you feel. all the different things that you do in order to seek for love outside of the self, coming to the surface, those energies being revealed. This Saturn retrograde is all about taking all that love that you're giving to other people and bringing that back home to yourself. This is going to be a great challenge for some people here on this channel. I'm wanting to use my rose. I like to keep this here because it's really great for the heart chakra. Reminds me of the Sisterhood of the Rose, right? It's a powerful, I have it next to my Isis statue down here. Both came from Egypt. Yeah. Taking all that love and bringing that home to yourself. Self-love. Some people are going to be realizing too, where it's like you've been going through this roller coaster of emotion, and you're all of a sudden going to realize that 90% of that is not yours. It's somebody else's ride. You're riding somebody else's ride. And some of you are going to realize it's time to get off the ride. I feel like for somebody here, the reason I felt like putting on that perfume and talking about that for a second, it's Mary Magdalene, Mother Mary, the Sisterhood of the Rose, that energy. That's significant for somebody. And I feel like they're here. The energy of roses in general. Stop and smell the roses. They want you to smell the roses. They want you to pay attention to the smell of roses, somebody. That's a sign for somebody when you smell roses. Specifically the smell of roses. It's a sign that they're with you. Somebody, this may be like somebody, if you have a deceased loved one, you may already attribute the rose to them, the smell of roses or the energy of the rose. But your guides, specifically guides, divine feminine guides associated with the, and you can look up the Sisterhood of the Rose, but Mary Magdalene, Mother Mary, the two that always come to mind with that energy, they're guides for you as well, and they're connected to you as well. Yeah, and you're going to know that they're with you when you smell roses. And they want, if something about this is kind of stirring something within someone, they want you to go out and get some perfume, essential oil, rose essential oil. Somebody likes to use essential oils in the bath who's watching this. And they're saying use rose. Like I said, it's a big heart opener. And this energy, the Saturn retrograde, is all about opening up the heart, right? What is a beautiful self-loving thing that you can do for yourself, right? Take a nice, hot, soothing bath with some essential oils. Ooh, maybe some rose petals. Really working with that energy. I keep feeling that rose energy really coming through strong. All right, what else did we have coming out here? We have big picture thinking and double mission. Lightworker, starseed, serve the world by being you. And this is the Pleiades energy, the visionary, inspired ideas. I don't think this big picture thinking card doesn't come out very often, actually. What are the ways that you can see yourself serving the world, serving humanity? Keeping in mind, of course, as this card says, that you serve the world, you serve humanity best by being you. All right, keeping that in mind, of course. But I feel like somebody or some buddies watching this, as we move through the Saturn retrograde, remember this goes until November 4th. So this is it, it's a big stretch, a big window here. You're going to be receiving lots of inspired ideas and visions. Some of you guys, it's like you have Pleiadian heritage. And it's like your family of light, the Pleiadians, they're channeling these ideas to you, these inspirations to you, because it's time. It's time for you to get to work, so to speak. But it's like your work is your creativity. It's your play. All right, your play is your work. All right. So when you receive these inspired energies, take action on them. It's going to feel so natural to you, because it's like the inspirations that you're receiving, the things that you're wanting to do, bring you more deeply into yourself. It all centers around different ways of expressing yourself, your truth, your beauty, your light, and sharing that with the world. All right. I love this card with a double mission. Like, you see how we have that beautiful organic darkness here, and then we have all the lights up here, dark and light, right? The balance of these energies within us. Reaching into the void, the organic darkness, to retrieve from that the inspiration, the vision, and bring that to life, right? Bring that to light, so to speak. I love that. So a lot of powerful inspiration and downloads coming through for people during the Saturn retrograde, I feel. This is the time to dream. That's what Spirit is saying. During the Saturn retrograde, allow yourself to dream, to daydream. Understanding that your daydreams are very important, all right? They're very profound. You are creating when you're daydreaming. All right, that is your visualization. That is where Spirit is coming through. A lot of people, it's like they think it's only during their dream time or during meditation that they're receiving ideas from their higher self, communication from their higher self, from their spiritual team. You're receiving it all the time when you're daydreaming, when your mind is wandering in these beautiful directions. Those are messages from your higher self as well. All right? So what are you daydreaming of? What are you desiring? And this is where we're really learning, too, about having mental discipline, in a sense, right? If our mind is working against us, right? If we are stuck in the mental snares and traps, then we waste all of this beautiful energy that we could be using daydreaming and creating, manifesting, right? Worrying. Right? What is it that they say? Worry is a misuse of our energy. Our creational energy, or something like that. Pete would know. This is what we're talking about. It's like we're really going to be shown where it is that we are misusing our creational energy, and how it is that we can use that in a more constructive way by playing and daydreaming. All right? You didn't come here to be just one thing. You came here to be everything. Don't limit yourself. No idea is too big. All right, we have that beautiful inner earth energy on the bottom of the deck. You're not for everyone. Embrace your weirdness, face your true north. Self-explanatory, right? That pairs perfectly with the serve the world by being you. All right. I want to close with this inner earth. I feel like I want to read something from this for you guys. And we've talked about the inner earth, right? As being the 5D earth. Existing deep, deep within the core, the center of the planet. There are beautiful trees. When we see some of these really large, majestic trees and we tap into their energy, we can use them as portals to tap into the inner earth, to tap into the magic that's there. Inner earth, known as Agartha, is believed to be a hidden subterranean world within the planet itself. Many ancient cultures mention it in their stories. It's said that some of the beings of ancient lost lands, such as Lemuria, Atlantis, and Aryavarta, went there. Hindu and Celtic lore, and yes, this Seems to be true, yep. Hindu and Celtic lore mention caves and entrances to underground worlds. Tibetan Buddhism refers to the secret mystical city Shambhala, which is thought to be located in the Himalayas. Many have searched for inner earth in the physical world, but without success. So the mystery continues. Is it a place that exists in the physical or on another level of consciousness? There are solutions beyond what you can perceive. I'm just thinking about that and kind of smiling at that question being posed, right? It could be both, right? It is very much in the physical, on another level of consciousness. And so the message behind this card is, there are solutions beyond what you can perceive. Surprising outcomes to your problems and situations. Resolutions that are in the best interests of all involved. If you find yourself facing an obstacle or feeling stuck and have no idea what to do, you're being reassured that there is a way out. You'll survive this and things will work out. If you're stuck in a rut, do something to shake up the energy and shift your thinking. Try something you wouldn't normally do. Soon you'll see that whole new worlds of solutions are available. Things that were previously beyond your focus will present themselves. Helpful people, signs from the universe, and support in both expected and unexpected ways are on their way to you. But first, you need to do something different to shift your focus so that you can receive them. All right? So what can you do to shift your energy or your outlook? And with I'm sorry underneath that, writing past wrongs, uprooting. For some people, it's making an amends. An amends or an apology, right? And what's the difference between an amends and an apology? An amends is when we actually do something to change, to make a past, to right a wrong. We actually take an action. Whereas an apology is simply saying, I'm sorry. An amends is the action that follows the apology. Clear. So it's like clearing the air, taking some sort of action to mend or heal some type of situation. Doing some sort of uprooting in some level of your life. Taking responsibility is what it feels like to me. Some people, it's like a need to take responsibility for your energy, for your part in a situation, for you, the energy and the knowing that you are the creator of your own reality, right? Clear. Activation flame coming through there. And sometimes, I mean, this is one of the manifesting 101, right? Clear. Awakening 101, when we first start to realize that we are responsible for creating our reality. It can be a little bit of an ego bruising understanding there, right? When we look around and our reality is not what we wish it to be. All right, and we have to take responsibility for that energy, for the circumstances, for the situations. That codependency energy coming back up again in the forefront of my mind, the codependency and the energy of boundaries. For some people, it's like you have a situation going on in your life, and the way to shift the energy of it is to first take responsibility for that and realize that even if it may not be your fault, you have been enabling that situation in some way, shape, or form. That's for somebody, or a collective of somebody's maybe. Where have you been allowing energy to continue in some area of life? All right, clear. Let's get some energy from this. I don't even remember what this particular deck is called here, but this mysterious tarot deck here. This beautiful Piscean type tarot deck. Let's get some energy for, I almost said Pisces season, for Saturn Retrograde in Pisces 2023. Saturn Retrograde in Pisces for the collective for which I channel. One more. Let's get some energy here. Saturn Retrograde in Pisces. All right, we have the Empress coming out with the King of Pentacles. Interesting. the full moon up there behind her. It's like a skyscraper or something here. All right, tell me a little bit more here. The Empress, of course, being the embodiment of all 4 queens in the deck. What do we have here? The Page of Wands. 9 of Cups on the bottom. So this is when we've come to full cycle in our journey with the journey of our divine feminine, right? Able to embody all 4 of the queens in the deck. Queen of Wands, Queen of Cups, Queen of Pentacles, Queen of Swords. Standing in our empowerment. King of Pentacles, rather, also a very stable masculine energy. So I'm seeing this as our masculine and feminine energy, right? Our feminine energy really getting recharged. Brought kind of really leveling up. And I see and can feel the 13 is definitely a feminine energy. Looking at that 7 degrees, 13 minutes, right? When this retrograde begins. The 7 has a feminine quality to it, I think. The 13 definitely does. All right, so we're seeing this up-leveling of our feminine energy, our creational energy, right? The Empress is a creatrix. All right? It's a divine mother type of an energy. And then a stabilizing of our masculine energy with this King of Pentacles here. Yeah, and notice how she's holding a scepter or a wand here, and so is he. And I don't know, I haven't really used this deck, so maybe they all are in here, right? The Page of Wands, of course, has a wand. And what is the Page of Wands? And here it feels like almost like the offspring of the King of Pentacles and the Empress. Something that's being created. Something wanting to come into form here. Give us a little more energy here. All right. Got the 8 of Cups and Judgment. So this is where we're coming to a choice point. We're coming to a turning point here, right? We are experiencing, we have this huge surge of creational energy, right? Our divine feminine really in her empowerment. Our divine masculine in his empowerment as well, feeling stable, feeling secure. A beautiful divine child being birthed. Something beautiful being created. But first, something has to be released. Something has to be let go. All right. Something or someone needs to walk away or is going to walk away during the Saturn retrograde. And there's a lot of these, in quite a few of these cards, we have like the full moon, and it's the birds. They could be bats, but I'm feeling more birds flying across the moon. It's really interesting. I want to see. We have 3, 6, 9 in this card. And 9 in this card too. 9 birds flying across the moon. 9, of course, being the energy of closure, right? Completion of cycles. 10 in the tarot, but 9 also as a general rule. Anything else here? So a lot of this energy with the full moon coming through here. And this could be something that's going to be transpiring over Pisces season that may have begun or the energetic impulse for it was created during that full moon in Sagittarius. And we talked about how massive that full moon was. All right, we have the sun on the bottom of the deck, which is beautiful energy. And here we see, and I haven't been feeling a lot of these cards inverted, but I'm feeling it now with the Eight of Swords here and the Ace of Wands in reverse. There's been a new beginning that's been thwarted here multiple times. And the reason this new beginning, the reason that this passion, this excitement has been derailed or delayed every time is because somebody has allowed themselves to stay trapped in their heads, to stay trapped in their minds. And this is the energy that we're moving out of. All right, and I think, didn't we talk about this with the Starseed Oracle? I can't remember. Now it's already left me, but I feel like we did. And so somebody has allowed their mind to thwart them time and time again. Stress, anxiety, lack of belief in self. Somebody stayed in situations as well long past the expiration date because of this. All right. And now it's like it's go time. It's time to release this cycle. And I'm feeling these now. Remember when we talked about spiritual cycles? Major karmic lessons coming through for people. These are some of those karmic lessons. For some people, it's about staying past the expiration date. For other people, it's like allowing your mind to, your stresses, your fears, your anxieties to prevent you from moving forward. Staying stuck. This is all energy of allowing ourselves to stay stuck. For some people, it's like it's part of what you're working through is like you've moved on, but you're still energetically stuck there. All right, still thinking about the past, still reminiscing, still perhaps my apologies for lack of a better word right now, boo-hooing over the past. And Spirit's saying it's time to leave the past behind where it belongs, right? The past is in the past for a reason. Leave it there. The only moment that's real is the now. We are here right now. What are we doing? Where are we going? All right. Anything else here? The Hierophant wanting to come out there. I kind of feel, what I'm sort of feeling like right now with this, remember when I said that this was like the divine child of the divine mother and divine masculine here? Which I keep feeling the King of Pentacles. I guess technically the Emperor would be like the divine father if we were looking at the Empress as the divine mother, right? But I'm still feeling the King of Pentacles kind of in that way. And this being the child, right? How I'm feeling this now is like, this is us. This is the subject of the reading. All right. These are like the oversouls, the higher self, the oversoul and the higher self, so to speak. And this is the fractal that is you having this human experience. Really at this turning point here. See, Devil inverted, overcoming the obstacles, overcoming what limits us, the things that have kept us bound. Tell me more here. Tell us more about this Page of Wands, this trio of energy here. Three of Pentacles. So this is teamwork and collaboration. This is like Spirit saying, it's time to really, like, your higher self, your oversoul, your divine feminine and masculine essences, right? All that is of you, your spiritual team, they're wanting to work with you to assist you in moving forward. It's time to collaborate. I always wanted to say it's time to dream a little dream. Tell me something else here about this energy. Nine of Swords. Yeah, really being stuck in our heads. Being paralyzed by anxiety. Got the Two of Swords, indecision. And I do want to say as well, for people who have not been watching some of the recent videos where we've been talking a lot about the different energies that exist within this 3D matrix construct, I highly recommend that you watch the video, What's Really Going On Here, where we talk about the inverted AI matrix. For a lot of people too, some of this energy, part of what keeps a lot of people stuck in these cycles too, is quite literally entities, implants, negative technologies, things that most people have within them. On an etheric energy level. Sometimes like implants and things literally on a physical level, but primarily right on an etheric, on an energetic level, we have these other consciousnesses taking up residence within our physical vessel, within our energy body, right? All of these different negative technologies, these implants, these hooks, these dark portals, all of this stuff that so many of us have within us before we get all that cleared out, can cause a lot of this energy. The staying stuck in these cycles, the replaying of trauma, being stuck in these fears, these anxieties, not being able to move forward. So if you guys want assistance with any of that, please reach out to me. My email, as I said, is in the description box below, as well as my website. All right, I'm still adding, as I said, my website's under construction. I'm still adding more information about the aura, quantum healing, entity removal, hypnosis therapy, healing session, as well as the raw Reiki entity removal. But I talk about it a lot in that video and some of the other videos that I've done recently. That can be hugely helpful in assisting with this energy and moving forward. You are working with your higher self during that modality in order to achieve self-healing. Yeah. It's like that energy of like the quote, like shit or get off the pot is really kind of what this feels like. Like it's that kind of point that people are getting to now. And like an old 12-step phrase is coming to mind, like sick and tired of being sick and tired of being sick and tired. I think a lot of people are getting to that point where it's almost like, all right, I'll try anything new. I'll try anything different to get myself out of this rut, to get myself out of this energy because I've been here for too long. All right. Like we said, literally lifetimes. Four of Swords, healing, retreat, rejuvenation. This is what your soul is desiring. For some people, it's like what you really need is a break, is what Spirit's saying. You need some time to recharge. For some of you guys, it's like that may be what you've been kind of struggling with, is knowing that you need that, but not being sure if you can take that for whatever reason. Not being able to see a way to get the rest, to get the sort of the recharge that you need. And so you may figure out a different way of being able to do that. Some sort of solution may come up. I feel like this Saturn retrograde is going to be a lot about where problems exist, those problems being revealed so that they can be dealt with. And also where we knew that there were problems, finally coming up with some solutions, some real solutions. And like we said, our higher self is guiding us through this process. And for some people, too, it's like really creating, like you're really being guided to create and to use your creativity in some powerful ways. Knight of Wands here. Anything else? Tell me more about this Knight of Wands. Seven of Wands. Very clearly inverted there. Give me one more card to go with that. Page of Pentacles. Interesting. I feel like there's this energy for somebody during the Saturn retrograde as well, as like finally letting down your walls, in the sense of like letting somebody in where you've been really guarded for a really long time, where you felt like almost like been on the offensive or the defensive. It's like finally allowing for something or someone to come through. Tell me some more about this. Like, there's an energy of surrender here. Just in general, I'm feeling an energy of surrender. All right. And we talked about different ways of surrendering, right? We talked about positive versus like kind of negative, I guess you might say, surrender. Right? Like, we're surrendering in the sense of like surrendering to win. Get the Seven of Swords with the Four of Pentacles. Yeah. Yeah, there's this energy that just keeps coming through of like somebody here who's holding on to someone or something that's really not good for them. There's going to be a test for somebody where it's like you see somebody's true colors or something's true colors, but are you willing to look? Are you willing to acknowledge what you're seeing and do something about it? It's like hanging on, like putting the blinders on purpose because it's just too painful or too inconvenient to see the truth. Like Spirit's saying, like surrender is so important. During this Saturn retrograde, it's like so incredibly important for so many of us. Whatever it is that we've been hanging on to, right? That energy, once again, of staying past the expiration date. It's time to let it go. We've got to let it go. And for some people, when this comes to like relationships, it's like either a deep sense of codependency or on the other side, you know, when we're like hyper independent to the point where we don't allow other people in at all. For some people, that's an energy. Justice. Anything to go with justice here? Okay, the last couple cards before we pull a closing card. I'm going to do a crystal card for you guys to close. And the Hermit. Ooh, two major arcana to close here. Justice and the Hermit. This is a profound spiritual awakening, and we've been talking about this energy over and over again. A spiritual awakening that comes from this this need to stand in our integrity, this test of our morals, of our values, of our ability to walk our talk and stand in our truth, stand in our spiritual truth, to do what is right, regardless of what we feel, is kind of what it feels like for some. To take the stand that needs to be taken. An understanding of what battles are worth fighting and what is worth fighting for. Defend to the end the worthwhile, remember? What is worthwhile? Who and what is worth defending? Who and what have you been defending? Have you been defending that which is just and righteous? Being careful, because righteousness can be a double-edged sword, right? Or have you been defending your ego? Interesting. Some people really being called with this Hermit card, right, to pull back their energy from people, places, situations. Like we said, that energy is coming through over and over and over again. All right. What are we going to do for a closing card here, you guys? Oh, we said a crystal card, right? Okay. What crystals would like to assist us as we move through the Saturn retrograde? Clear. Which crystals would like to assist us during Saturn retrograde? All right, so we have red jasper, nurturing, coming out, and hemiferite, the egoless state. Oh, how perfect. And on the bottom of the deck, we have apatite, foresight, one of my favorite crystals, the blue being my absolute favorite variety, and sapphire under that, spiritual truth. Hold up all of those for you. I'm not going to read all of these. I'm going to read these two. But I am sort of holding all these up. Take in the light language on those cards for a moment. Whichever one you're most pulled to. Ooh, that'll be a fun reading sometime. A pick a card. Where we just do whichever one of these you're most drawn to. Just instantly looking at the color, the light language. Not so much as the name of the card. All right. Red jasper, we're going to start with that. And I'm going to hold the card up while I read, so you can continue to take in the activations in that card. The Master Crystal Deva of Red Jasper is Yazbael. And Yazbael says, I am, or Yazbael, Yaz. I am the voice of Earth's sacred embrace. Accept my gift. Gently feel me move through you. My subtle energies and gentle warmth will slow your world to a new pace, in alignment with your total being. Through me, you will come to see, know, and honor your needs as part of God's creation. Let us begin. Allow me to sustain you, raising your life force so you may see with new eyes and gaze out into your creation, seeing beauty all around you. Just as mother and child, I will lift you and nurture your growth toward the light, infusing you with the joy of living and the glory of your power as creator in all you do. Self-nurtured child in the arms of the earth, walk now with the journey of self-embrace, and the world will follow in gentle glow of your unconditional heart, back to the joy of oneness. I have warmed your path with the gentle winds of confidence. Let them guide you home. All right. Within the teachings of the American Indians, jasper is the blood of the earth, a gift from her which is able to take you deep within her stabilizing, gentle, and warm body and surround you in her nurturing embrace. So essentially this contains like womb energy. All right, the energy of the Divine Mother's womb, of the Earth's womb, Gaia's womb. Within that embrace, all change is gradual and flowing. Life rolls along at a rate that is suited to the self, with as little turbulence as possible. These characteristics make red jasper the most nurturing mineral on Earth. She's a gentle, grounding, and stabilizing stone that is extremely valuable in healing and life where change occurs too fast, a situation also known as the healing crisis. With red jasper, there is always time in life, and original forward movement is assured. And anybody who's really Like the energies have been really fast paced, even at a molecular level. Like you feel like the ascension energies, and we didn't get into this a ton in this video, but there are going to be major shifts. We talked about the crystallizing of the DNA, the first 7 strands of the DNA. We talked about the shifts, like this physical ascension really coming online for us on a physical level and on this level as all these shifts and changes are happening. Especially if anyone's like getting any attunements or anything like that, and it's a lot. Use red jasper to help stabilize yourself if you're going through a physical or a mental, emotional, spiritual healing crisis. All right. Everything coming up and purging all at once is what I mean by that. As well as if you just feel like life is moving faster than you're able to keep up right now. Or you just are requiring that nurturing, feeling like you're that energy, the rejuvenation, right? We saw that with the 4 of Swords here, that comes from returning to the mother's womb. Let's see. Red jasper facilitates the grounding and remembering of dreams by anchoring the astral body to the physical, and can also be protective in those activities. So for those who are astral traveling, usually the dreams of red jasper facilitate the releasing of the past and help manifest the path of the future. Red jasper is a sacred stone to Ascended Master El Moria and the Archangel Michael, and is also a contact stone for Pan. At the physical level, the sustaining energies of red jasper are useful in the recovery process of any illness or after hospitalization when energy levels are low. It is better in conditions of deterioration rather than those of malfunction, especially within the circulatory and digestive systems. So anyone who has just received really powerful or major energy work as well, red jasper will help you to integrate those energies. Let's see. What else did I want to say here? Oh yeah, when I was talking about the astral travel and using red jasper to assist with grounding during that, and remaining tethered to the physical body, I had this vision of red jasper imprinted with a Merkaba, like a golden Merkaba imprinted on a stone of red jasper. If red jasper has come to you today, it is time to put yourself first and nurture the self. Take time out and do something special for you. Red jasper only appears when life is moving too fast and needs to be slowed to a pace that is more suited to you as a person. Allowing life to move at a pace that is suited to self is actually quite easy. The hardest step is the first. This is because others that do not nurture the self as often as they should often excessively nurture others. The mind has to be retaught that loving the self is the first step to truly loving the rest of the world. Stop putting it off. Book yourself in for that massage, facial, or simple timeout. Put it in your diary and do it consistently. Once is not enough. It's just that head of yours again. What is your heart saying? And the affirmation is, I love myself, nurtured, I am of service. All right? I love myself, nurtured, I am of service. The nurturing comes first. The self comes first. All right? We've grown up in programming that has taught us that it is selfish to put the self first, especially the feminines, right? This is so not true. And this is that first card, the very first card of this reading, the Hadarian card coming through again. Self-love, right? Codependency, really working through those energies, all right? Understanding the importance of putting the self first, self-care and self-love. This Saturn retrograde, this is just reinforcing how important that energy is and those lessons of self-love and self-care during the Saturn retrograde. We talked about the spiritual hygiene. We talked about the energies of our spiritual routine. Are we putting ourselves first in that routine? All right. Then we have our second stone here, hemimorphite. And this, the master crystal deva for hemimorphite is Hamuel. And Hamuel says, greetings, child of the endless light. I thank you for reaching within my frequency. Feel my gentle breath upon you. Now let me open you to the joy of the Creator, a vision reserved for those who hold the key to the egoless state. Let us now hold and activate the mirror of self. I offer to you freedom through self-respect and self-love on all levels. Search deep within your heart to the glistening blue pools of loving expression realized. Ignite the white rose and purify. Ignite the white rose and purify. I can't make this up. Allow the heart to become a filter for all that passes from you. Every breath unconditional and all loving. We have opened your path of truth. Through me now, see your world and all within it. Know that you are its creator. Your happiness is but a reflection of this fact. Continue your journey. Go deeply inward now, as self-realization can lead to your highest imagined potential. Let the world no longer cast a shadow. Through your eyes, by choice, you are free. All right? And how important is this inward journey, right? Remember that Hermit card. The integration period, the retrograde, the slowdown that it is. It is very much about this energy of going inward to ask ourselves these questions. All right? To find these truths within ourselves. Let's see. All right, relatively new on the scene, Hemimorphite. Strongly connected to personal power and its appropriate use. And were we not talking consistently about taking responsibility for our creations, right? Hemimorphite takes us to a healthy space of honesty about our actions in the world. It is a stone of self-respect and self-confidence without crossing the fine line that these characteristics represent. This is one of the crystals where it is useful to look at the negative state, for it is very common in modern businesses. In its most extreme, the person that needs this stone is not taking responsibility for their actions, dishonest, self-centered, and making decisions from a fearful place. Did we not see different variations of this card over and over again? These people are in desperate need of self-love, but see it as weakness, so empower themselves to compensate. This makes them egotistical, and the whole cycle starts again. They are trapped. Hemimorphite is their savior. Were we not saying, what was that energy of, I forget what it was, but this is, I love how these cards always sum up the reading perfectly at the end. Working with this stone over time, the voice of the spirit can be heard clearly and allowed to govern life, leading one to their highest potential, not just as a person, but also as a soul. Hemimorphite often holds the key to important information from other lifetimes and will only open the door if we are seeking from an egoless perspective. Ooh, how many of us want to know about our past lives and things like this? But it's just to continue to stroke and fuel the ego. Hemimorphite is a contact stone for the Ascended Master Kuthumi and Archangel Jophiel. More physically, Hemimorphite has an amazing ability to heal with the herpes virus, which is directly connected to the ego. It is useful in blood and cellular disorders and can decrease pain in a similar manner to malachite. Beautiful. If Hemimorphite has come to you today, it is a friendly reminder that we are all responsible for our actions. Take a good look at what is happening in life and make sure that you are retaining your personal power and acting from an egoless state. All truthful acts should harm none, benefit all, and stream directly from love in the name of unity. I'm going to read that one more time. All truthful acts should harm none, benefit all, and stream directly from love in the name of unity. Hemimorphite can also present when there is a need to embrace an important role from another lifetime, or when a loved one has recently passed and wishes to communicate with you. And we talked about that a little bit too, right? With the roses. Make sure also that you are not being taken advantage of. This stone can appear to let you know you need to recover a part of yourself from someone else's creation. Ooh. Taking your power back in big, big ways. Not just taking your power back from others, right? But when we can recognize where our ego is still running the show, and we take steps to correct that, to surrender that, we're taking power back from ourselves, right? In a sense. From the false self. We're taking power from the false self and returning that to the true self. The affirmation for Hemimorphite is, I walk the path of truth to freedom. Ooh, I love that. I walk the path of truth to freedom. The truth shall set you free. But first, it's going to piss you off. That's one of my favorite quotes. And that feels very on point as we move through any Saturn retrograde, right? Any Pluto or Saturn retrograde. And then I want to just take a peek at appetite here, being that it is one of my favorite cards. Let's see. This is about planning. Your negative cycle that seems to repeat itself in life has been recognized by Spirit and is about to be broken. Boom. Whatever it is that you are about to enter or undertake in life, be sure to use your intuition and all of your ability to foresee the outcome. Take time to plan every step and try to remove the obstacles before beginning. All right, so this is where we have this ability to see ourselves clearly, to see the path clearly, and to foresee what the obstacles are going to be. One of them is going to be the ego, right? We've been told this over and over again, so that we can clear those away beforehand. We can work on those beforehand. Let's see. Appetite is also asking you to be sure of what you want. Ignore all external pressures that are pushing you. Think and then act. So don't allow anyone or anything to force you into action before you're ready. But also don't procrastinate, right? It's that fine line. Things that are to be yours in the world will wait. And if they do not, they were never supposed to be yours. And so for some people, it's the importance. What is mine will always be mine, right? It's the importance of understanding and being able to judge the difference between procrastination and waiting and aligning and synchronizing with divine timing. All right. And the clue here is that procrastination is usually a byproduct of fear. Whereas surrender and allowing and waiting for divine timing is a byproduct of faith and trust. Reaction in the world leads down an unpredictable path that is not really yours to walk. The lessons you encounter will lift you back to your true path. Offer the choice to think and then act again. How many times will you walk the circle? The affirmation is, my vision is perfect. It manifests my life. So this is a mind activator, especially the blue version, right? Allowing one to think before acting. To act instead of, or to act instead of react, right? Appetite is a powerful crystal of the body's metabolism by linking the mind to the body's needs with discernment of its wants. Balance is found and unwanted weight is often lost. So assisting with that as well. Let's see. Helps with teeth, bone problems, stuttering, damaged muscular tissue. Balancing the chakra system, aligning the energy bodies. Raising the kundalini energy in a powerful and balanced manner. Appetite treats some of the most common problems in our modern world, one of which is highly responsible for its current state. The poor use of power in love and spirituality. Powerful stuff, you guys. I love that. All right. So really working with appetite in order to be able to foresee the path ahead, to clearly understand the lessons, we'll call the obstacles lessons, right? The challenges, and how it is that we can overcome them. To assist us in the planning so that we may move ahead confidently. And under that, for a deeper spiritual truth, work with Sapphire. Hold that up again for a minute. A lot of spiritual truth coming through here. Remember, retrogrades are a time to slow down. So allow yourself to take your time. It's going to become clear. What is it that you've been putting off and dragging your feet around that needs to be shifted now? Where is the action that's been begging to be taken for too long? And where is it that others are trying to force us into action before we're ready, and it's time to slow our roll? All right. I love you guys. I appreciate you so much. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, go ahead and hit that like button. Drop a comment down below and let me know. If you would like to work with me one-on-one, drop me an email. My email and my website are linked in the description box below. What else? There are links to donate if you feel so moved to do so. Just know that every like, every share, every subscribe is as good as a donation. It's pretty rough for channels who are speaking truth, who are channeling true love light. Also, who do long form content. YouTube does not favor any of these things, so we can use all the help we can get getting these messages to all who are meant to hear them. But knowing that everyone always does, right? It's Spirit takes care. It's all in Spirit's hands. So we don't worry about it, but definitely if there's someone that you know, clear, who would benefit from any of this content, go ahead and share it with them, as I know it's pointless for me to even say that because I know you guys already do all of that. Let's see. Fearless Movement, Chris Phrase, once again, helping us to take that action where the action is necessary and needed. All right. I love you all. Love you, honor you, respect you. Talk to you soon.